welcome to Mindful Weekend Morning Yoga. And a quick heads up that next weekend I won't be teaching morning yoga. I'm going to do a Sunday early evening restorative yin class. One of my best friends is coming to visit for the weekend. So we'll do evening restorative from my new yoga studio, which I have been wanting to do anyway. So I will send that out. And then after that, I'll be back to Saturdays for all of August. So this morning, taking a moment to arrive and find your sit bones, find your body, find your heart space, find all the things, bringing them all into the same spot. Heart, mind, spirit, all those potentially wandering thoughts, bringing them all back into your bodily space on this mat, on the spot where you happen to be in the earth. And taking a moment to notice where you are on this earth in this moment. I am once again in my beautiful forest bathing tree spot at Nicasio Creek Farm on what is a cooler morning than we've had probably since I've been here. And noticing what it's like where you are. What does this morning look like? What is different about it, special about it, unique about it? And taking a moment to notice how you feel, how you've landed on your mat. Are you heavy and slouched? Are you sitting up tall and light? And are your hands facing down or facing up? And take a moment to intentionally reset. To take a big deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And notice with a little intention and a breath how you might feel different. Breathing in and out. My invitation this morning is to do exactly that, to reset, to shift perspective, to renew, restart, whatever it might be. Letting go of all of those things that perhaps you've been carrying, perhaps for the month of July, perhaps for 2024, perhaps for a lifetime. What might you like to reset? How might you like to, with intention, shift your perspective? Shift your noticing and your awareness. And maybe shift how you show up. There are often natural times for a reset or a renew, like New Year's. And then there's any other time we might decide that we're ready for a refresh or a renew or a reset or a shift in perspective. And it can be 1%, 5%, could be a huge 180-degree reset. Taking a moment to assess, take stock, notice where you are in this moment. And ask yourself what you might like to reset, where you might like to start fresh, or bringing a different lens or perspective or approach. Or different energy. And I invite you to bring a hand to heart and another hand to top as a listening tool, as a self-compassion tool, but also a listening tool, connecting more deeply to yourself and what's in there, the angst perhaps of where you've been off course. A lot of people I work with in coaching and at retreats feel like they're off course. And so the reset is getting back on course. It's like a toddler who's off track. Where might you like to get a little bit more on track? Even 1%, 5%. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And having a listen. What might you like to shift, change, reset, renew? What new energy might you like to embody or embrace? As many of you know, this week is my birthday week, and I always like that invitation of, for this next year, how would I like to show up? What might I like to do differently, think differently, feel differently? And what's in my control about that? Not because I haven't done it right or well, though I probably haven't done it all right and well, but because it's time for a shift. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And could you invite this shift, whatever it might be, but a shift towards something, not away from something, but towards something you might like more of. And maybe it's simply a reset, a restart. You don't even know what it looks like, but just a shift. And shift towards a shift. Bringing hands together, rubbing them, warming them up, creating some energy, newness. We can create energy and shift if we choose. Bringing thumbs to sternum, fingers reach to the sky, and take a pause, press into your sternum and set that intention, whatever your intention might be. Breathe in and out 3 times. Focus on the intention. Give attention to your intention. Letting it seep and percolate into every cell. When you're ready, lower hands and open eyes. Let the light in. And notice if already there's a bit of a reset. Do things look a little different? Bringing hands down by your sides. Have a little shake, wiggle, roll your shoulders in either direction, inviting that movement and just shaking out whatever wants to go before we begin. Find your sit bones and your waist, roots, ischial spines downward. Inhale and grow tall through your side body, reaching as tall, tall, tall as you can. Reach those fingers to the sky, wiggling them. Exhale, drop your shoulders. Inhale, reach as tall, tall, tall as you can. Growing tall, a little shimmy, wiggle on either side. Wiggle, wiggle the fingers. Huge breath in. Exhale, open arms out to the sides. Inhale, round your belly towards the back. Arms come forward like a beach ball. Exhale, blowing out, resetting, letting go. Heart is shining forward. That heart you listened to. Inhale, round, sucking in all your resources and energy and intention, what you would like more of. And exhale, letting go of the frustrations. Once more, inhale, rounding forward, drawing together everything you'd like. And exhale, opening, releasing. Lower your arms down by your hips with your hands back. Inhale, reaching arms out all the way up towards the sky, slightly behind you, like windshield wipers perhaps. Opening all the way, bringing them down towards your hips and sacrum. Inhale, reaching up towards the sky. Once again, all the way down towards your hips. Heart shines forward. Your shoulders are down and back. Heart is reaching forward. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Once again, have a little shimmy. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms, reach tall as you can, slight arch back. Exhale, round forward, suck your navel back, enjoy the back body. Inhale, reaching tall, flowing a bit. Sometimes flow and getting that momentum helps you shift and reset. Inhale, round forward, suck your navel all the way back. Reaching tall, slight arch back. Opening arms once again towards the side wall, nature, whatever's out there. Flex your wrists, spread your fingers wide, creating energy, letting new and a reset coming through the palms and the fingers, spreading wide, 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 lots of energy in the hands. Pinch your scapula together. Enjoy the energy. Release. Release your fingers. Wrap your arms in front. Give yourself a huge, huge hug. Bringing your fingers to the scapula or to the shoulders. Notice what feels good today. Whatever is a tighter hug that feels good. Squeezing tight. Tighter, tighter, tighter. Exhale, round forward. Drop your chin into the cradle of your arms and round release. Inhale, squeeze tighter. Exhale, release. One more inhale, recognizing that thus far you've done the best you can. And exhale, letting go, being willing to move forward, perhaps a little differently. Perhaps lighter, perhaps less stuck. Inhale, growing tall, squeezing one more time as you sit upright. Exhale, untangle, release, press into the side walls. Lower hands to your sacrum, interlace them, press your fist to the floor, shoulders down and back, shine your heart forward. Let that inner heart space shine. Whatever you heard or listened to, drop your chin to your chest, enjoy your neck muscles. Inhale, reach chin to neutral and gaze upward. Be really kind to your neck. If your neck doesn't like this, don't do it. Enjoy the view. Considering possibilities, what could be different, what you might like to be different. Coming back to center. Release your hands, shake them out. Roll shoulders back 3 times, inviting that movement, noticing any kinks with kindness. Letting go with each roll. Inhale your arms out towards the side walls once again and give yourself another huge hug in the opposite direction. Your hands may not reach the same way. Squeezing as tight as you can. Appreciating yourself for all that you have done thus far. Huge inhale, squeeze tighter. Exhale, round forward, drop head and neck, and enjoy your back. Inhale, upright. Squeeze tighter. Have a little rock, perhaps as if you're rocking a baby. And untangle, stretch your arms towards the side walls and lower them down. Taking out whatever you're sitting on, if you happen to be sitting on something. We often sit atop something in yoga to help release the hip flexors where we carry a lot of tension and a lot of things we might like to let go if we're considering a reset. Find your ischial spines, move the flesh of your seat out of the way without judgment, with intentional non-judgment. Tilt your pelvic bowl forward and reach your heart forward. Bring hands to your thighs, bend knees gently, flex ankles, spread toes, using your belly, sitting up nice and tall. Back is arched slightly, heart shines forward. Crown of the head reaches to the sky. Huge breath in. Exhale, lower your knees to the earth to the best of your ability. Lift your heels up. Flex your ankles, toes come towards your knees, and enjoy that energetic shift here. Your belly is working and holding you sitting tall, heart shines forward. Point your toes, slide hands down your legs towards your ankles, release your back and head and neck. Lots of shifts in the leg. The back is rounded. And take a breath or two here, letting your head rest. Close eyes. And invite a reset. Listening for a moment to what your body has to say as the energy moves. Slowly slide up your shins to your knees, to your thighs. Bend your right knee, hugging it in towards you. Squeeze the shin and give it a big hug. Pick up that right shin, place your right foot on the outside of your left thigh, hugging it in tight, tight, tight. Rock on the sit bones. Find a steady spot. Left arm wraps around the right knee. Bring your right hand behind and grow tall as you twist. Inhale, reaching tall, lengthening. Gaze at the view. Gaze at this perspective, a new perspective over the right shoulder. Huge breath in and blow it out. Big breath in once again and out. Gently coming back to center. Wrap your right arm around your right knee. Twist to the left to even it out. Counter twist, as we say. Remembering always in life to counter twist. Where do you need more counter twist? Shifting back to center. Pick up that right shin. Bring it back to the right side. Left hand comes to the outer edge of the right foot and straight that right leg. You may enjoy your IT band here. Some of you who come need some IT band work. Slowly shift the sole of your foot towards the front and lovingly gaze at those 5 toenails. Right hand can come behind. Inhale, grow tall once again. Twist over to the right. Notice all of the sensations and the shifts. Notice things moving. Think about it as a reset, resetting the energy in your legs and your sides, letting the tightness move and flow. Bend the right knee. Twist back to center. Allow your right knee to fall 90 degrees out to the side. Right sole of the foot connects to the left inner thigh. Find your belly. Inhale your arms to the sky. Twist towards the left foot and fold forward towards your left ankle. Release your head and neck. Left hand can wrap into the right hip crease. Big breath in and out. Enjoy the flow and the movement. Invite this as a reset. Different spots of your body welcoming in the breath, the energy, and that intention of either just shift or moving towards something. Decide what it is for you. You may not know yet. Oftentimes we need that calm to find whatever it is we're shifting towards. Notice if you want to flow forward into the pose a little bit further. If it's grabbing your toe, twisting more, notice what your body's craving and let it have it, because why not? Slowly slide up that left leg. Bring your right hand behind your right hip and pivot up into Wild Thing and enjoy the stretch and the wiggle. Roll fingers. Outer edge of that left foot reaches into the earth. Grow as tall as you can. Belly is strong, supporting you. Hand is strong, supporting you. Reach the left hand to the sky. Wiggle fingers. Draw the left hand back and gaze upward. Enjoying that shift in perspective, resetting. One of the things yoga does is put us in different positions with different points of view to help us reset and refresh and renew and move forward with a different outlook afterwards. Lower hip down, coming back upright, straight, both legs long in front, and take a moment to reassess, find your ischial spines, move the flesh of your seat out of the way, all the things. Bend your left knee, hugging it in towards you. Find your sit bones as you do an even, steady base. Often what's needed to even make a decision about how you might want to move forward. Pick up your left foot, bring it to the right side of the right leg, squeezing it tight. Grow tall. Take a moment to grow tall before you twist. Right arm wraps around the right leg. Left hand comes behind you and twist, gaze over the left shoulder. And enjoy your hip, enjoy the view. Grow tall. Twists are spine lengtheners. And exhale, ring out the breath, finding that inner calm. And with it may come a little clarity. Taking good care of you is partly how we decide where we're headed. We often want to push ourselves to decide quickly. but taking your time, letting in a little shift in perspective, a reset. Counter twist towards the other side. Left arm wraps around the left knee, gaze over the right shoulder, coming back to center. Pick up that left shin, bring it back to the left side. Find your sit bones, always taking your time in the transitions. How we transition determines how things end up. Right hand comes to the outer right edge of the foot. Stretch your leg long and enjoy your IT band. Gaze at your toes, wiggle them. Notice the sole of your foot. Have it flat towards the front. Appreciate the tiny shifts. Subtle is significant. Left hand lands behind you. Twist towards the left once again and enjoy the movement, the sensations. Let it be a shift, a renewal, a reset. What we pay attention to is what we experience. Drawing your attention to these things, whether in yoga or in life, through coaching, things actually change. We often think it's in the doing, but it's much more often in the being and the intention setting and where we put our attention, or where we don't put our intention, where we allow ourselves to be distracted from where we'd ultimately like to go. Shifting back to center, bend your knee. Allow your left knee to come out to the side. Find your sit bones, moving the flesh out of the way. Right leg extends long. Find your belly. Grow tall. Reach both arms up to the sky. Wiggle your fingers, inviting that lightness and movement. Twist towards the right. Roll forward towards your foot, towards your ankle, towards your shin. Notice if you want to wrap your right hand into the left hip crease or not. And enjoy the shifts. Inviting a reset, letting the breath and the space and the energy move. It's literally resetting the physiology of each cell, but perhaps let it reset your mindset. Inviting perhaps hope and possibility and all kinds of things. Or even just letting go of the sledge so you can find some calm and peace. And in that, find your way. Big breath. Exhale, breathe it out over that right shoulder. Grabbing your toes, leaning forward a little more if you wish. Subtle shifts, big change. Often it's the 1 degree shift in perspective, 1%, that can make a big difference. Unwrap yourself, coming back to center. Left hand comes behind the left hip, lifting up for Wild Thing. If you have to adjust, do so. I personally don't want to fall into the creek behind me, so I will readjust. The hazards of practicing outside in a beautiful spot. I would love to have more of you come and join me here. It's amazing. And you'll see next week, if you join me, how amazing the yoga studio is. Draw the right hand behind you a couple inches. Gaze up at the view. Look at whatever is there. Lower your hips towards the earth, coming back to center. Stretch your legs long and have a little bang them out, releasing your shoulders and your hands. Find your sit bones and once again root them downward. Before we move forward, we always take a moment to find our center and our groundedness. Press your knees towards the earth, engage your belly, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward into a forward fold. If you can grab your big toes, do that. Release your head and neck. And pause where you are. Have a little rock, inviting movement and shift. Closing eyes and setting that intention once again for a reset. Oftentimes, if you think about a car getting out of the mud, sometimes you have to rock and move. And that's one of the invitations of yoga. In the movement is where the shifts happen. Perhaps even wiggling your big toes. Slowly slide up your shins to your knees. Sitting tall, sweep your feet around and come to hands and knees. Coming into a cat-cow or two to be kind to your spine. Noticing what you feel. Use the breath. Inhale for cow and exhale for cat. Come back to tabletop. Lower down to your forearms, coming into puppy pose. Forehead will land on the earth. Your sit bones will reach towards the sky. And walk your hands forward. Enjoy that release in the shoulders. And perhaps the armpits and the upper arms. Wiggle fingers. Wiggle your fingers a tiny bit farther forward and enjoy the release. Breathing. The breath is part of the reset. We actually reset our physiology with every breath, using that for you. Slowly lift up and slide forward into Sphinx pose. Elbows on the earth, forearms on the earth. Spread your fingers wide, gazing forward. Taking a moment, press your hips down into the earth, tops of the feet lifting up to where it's comfortable. Don't overdo Sphinx. And pay attention to your heart here. Big breaths in, pouring it into the front of the belly, into the lower back. A different position for a different perspective. Resetting the lower back, your belly, your heart. 3 more breaths here, slowing down, taking time. No rush to undo, no rush to move forward. Gifting yourself time and space and being rather than doing is often the most effective way to a reset. Curling toes, pressing back into child's pose, because we always undo. Sphinx with the child's pose to be kind to our back. Widen knees, sink your hips towards your heels, wiggle fingers as far forward as you can, and enjoy it for a moment. Noticing your heart here tucked under. If you're unsure how you might like to reset, just checking in with that heart space. Slowly coming back to hands and knees. Enjoy a cow and a cat, inviting that movement into your spine. Walk hands forward and lift up to downward dog. Enjoy your dog. Enjoy your spine, reaching spine to the sky. And notice if you want your feet wide or narrow. Might be different today. Releasing head and neck. Releasing the breath. Bend one knee. Press the other heel down and switch sides. Let it feel really good. Lower your heels if that works for you, and take a moment to let the shifts happen. Noticing if perhaps you're resisting the shifts and instead inviting them or embracing them. And while upside down, gaze at the view behind. One of the reasons we do inversions in yoga is to shift perspective with intention. And looking back between your legs at what's behind. Different perspective, different view on what's you've noticed much of the time. Letting that invitation of thinking and looking differently come into every cell. Lifting up all 10 toes and lowering them down. Walk your hands back towards your feet, coming into a forward fold. Grasp elbows, bend knees, and sway. Lower hands to the earth. Left hand plants on the earth, 5 fingers spread wide. Bend left knee, twist to the right. Enjoy the shifts, the reset. Roll your wrists with kindness. Gazing that way, what do you see? What do you feel upside down, twisted? Switch sides, right hand plants, bend your right knee, twist to the left, gaze at the view. What do you see? Maybe even what do you feel when you twist? Lower both hands, gaze back between your legs. Reach your hands to your sacrum, clasp them, stretch your fists to the sky, and allow your hands to fall forward. Enjoy your shoulders, the release. Let your neck have a little space and notice how it feels. Sway your hips, twist to the left, straight left leg, twist to the right. Come back to center and allow hands to fall forward a wee bit more. Big breath in and out. Lower hands to your sacrum. Run them down the backs of your legs. Engage your belly and slowly rise up. You can unroll or reach arms out and up towards the sky, bringing hands together. Notice what feels best to your body today. Bring hands to heart center, wherever you have landed upright, and take a moment to check in. Potentially close eyes if that's okay for you. You may notice a little unsteadiness when you do so. Press the thumbs into your sternum as tight as you can, creating that heart connection. And notice the energy here shift. Let it shift. Lifting up all 10 toes, finding the 4 corners of your feet, finding your stable, your center, and lowering your toes. Notice how you feel. Huge breath in and out. Lower hands and notice how you feel. Shake them out. Readjust if anything needs readjusting. Inhale, reaching arms out and up towards the sky. Slight arch back, palms come together, gaze up at the view. Use your belly here to keep your back nice and protected, and slowly fold forward, drip forward into a half lift, or a forward fold, sorry. Inhale for a half lift. Heart shines forward, rear end sticks back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift once again. Your back is flat. Use your belly, gaze forward. Perhaps lift up all 10 toes. Gazing, thinking about a reset and moving forward. What do you see? What's on your horizon? Maybe not what you see here, but what you see in your heart or your body in this moment where you're relaxed. Drop your head and neck. Inhale, reaching arms out and up, knees bent a wee bit, slightly gaze up towards the sky, palms come together, hands drip to heart center. Press your thumbs into your sternum, fingers reach to the sky, lifting up onto your tiptoes. Find your balance. Engaging everything. Notice the wobbles and notice the gripping makes you tip. Finding that sense of peace and strength up on your tiptoes. Press the thumbs into your sternum for balance and slowly focusing within, bend your knees and lower down, engaging everything. Keeping your focus ahead, press the thumbs into the sternum for balance. And when you arrive, pause. Notice how you feel. Press thumbs into your sternum, engage everything, and slowly rise up, still on your tippy toes. Growing tall, 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 tall as you can. Lower heels, lower hands. Come into Tadasana and take a moment and notice all the different sensations Notice the soles of your feet, all 10 toes, your fingers, the breath. Bring your hands to your hips and you'll step your feet out wide, coming into a wide angle. You may want to turn sideways on your mat. We'll turn forward towards the front in just a moment. Find your hands on your hips. Turn your toes out into second position. Sink your hips down, coming into that goddess pose, that pose of inner strength. Lift up your right toe and lower it. Inhale, sink lower. Lift up your left toe and lower it. Inhale, sink a little lower, noticing all kinds of sensations. Lift up all 10 toes. Enjoy the 4 corners of your feet. Lower down, sink a little bit lower. Straight your knees, reach your arms to the sky, coming into a 5-point star, but I only see 4 points. Anyway, open your arms out to the sides. Wiggle fingers. Turn your left toes to the front of the mat, or whichever one is on the front of the mat. Pigeon toe your back foot. Reach the left hand over the left toes, coming into Trikonasana or triangle pose. And if you have a block, grab it. Stretching ourselves doesn't often lead to the reset. Dropping into Trikonasana or triangle pose. Triangles everywhere. Right hand reaches to the sky. Gaze up to the right hand if it's okay for your neck. And notice what you see all around. Notice the lightness in the heart space. It's rolling open, a shift in perspective of the heart. Shift in gravity, shift in space to fill. Right hand will lower into the left hip crease. Roll your right shoulder open, gazing up over, noticing at the farthest regions of your visual fields what you see, what's out there, letting your heart see. Reach that right arm to the sky. Lower the right arm over your right ear and enjoy your right waist. And if you wish, you can raise that left arm also using your belly, wiggling fingers. It's a bit tricky. Lower the left hand to the block. Reach the right arm to the sky. Bend your front knee. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Wiggle those left toes a little bit farther forward. Come into a side angle pose. Your left elbow can come onto the left thigh, but don't dump it or keep your hand on the block. And reach your right arm over. Lower that right hand to the floor. Move the block to the outer edge of the left foot. You'll wiggle your left foot wider. If you have another block, you can grab that. We're going to come into a high lunge. You can use the blocks or you can have your hands on the earth. Coming into that high lunge, your hips are squared forward. Heart shines forward, gaze forward. Pause here. If you don't have the blocks, you can have your hands on your thigh or on your waist, either one. Notice what feels best for your hip flexor. And wherever you are, straight your front knee. Enjoying the shift. Bend your front knee. Straight your front knee. And bend your front knee. Embracing the wobbles that are part of a transition. Straight your front knee once again. Lift up those toes and perhaps even the ball of your foot here. Enjoy the back of the left leg. Lower toes down. Bend your knee. Drop your back knee to the earth, coming into a low lunge. You might need a blanket. Bring hands to thighs or blocks and pause here. allowing the shifts, the reset. Play with your hips a little, tack the left hip back, right hip forward, have a wag, if you want to call it that, a shift. And pause and breathe, inviting the movement and the softness into the hip. 2 more breaths here. Take your time. Straight your front knee, coming into a half split. So you'll walk the blocks back. If you don't have blocks, hinge forward at the waist and enjoy the back of the left leg. Point toes. Flex your ankle. Walk the blocks forward. Bend your front knee, your left knee. Bring the blocks on the inside of that left knee. Wiggle the left foot to the outside. We're going to come into lizard pose. You can use blocks or not. You can stay up or down. Inviting that release in the groin area. Shifting. Inviting it as a reset. Resetting the energy. Sending the breath into every cell here. 2 more breaths. And you'll bring your left foot back to the center, bring the blocks on either side if you have them. Curl the back toes under, lift your back foot up, hop your back foot forward, coming into a pyramid pose, and pause here for a moment. You can use the blocks if you have them. Back is flat today. Here, your hands can be on your thighs with the back flat or hands on the blocks, and enjoy the back of that left leg. Shift your weight forward and backward, inviting the movement, inviting the reset and the shifts with intention. Gently hop your back foot forward to meet the front. Coming into a forward fold, you can use your blocks if you wish, or no blocks. If you have your blocks, you might want to stack a little tower and put your forehead on it. If you don't have blocks, grasp your elbows. Big breath in and out. Closing eyes if you feel comfortable and enjoying the shifts as you do. Lots of physiology shifting. Inhale and slowly rise up. Arms will reach out and up towards the sky. Slight arch back, palms come together. Heart, hands to heart center. Pause and notice. And breathe. Notice what's reset and shifted already. Maybe you don't know where you're going. But notice how you feel different, simply in the intention, the breath, the movement, the waking up of different things. And we will switch and do the other side. You can face the same side of your mat, wherever you can see me better. I'm going to switch sides so you can see me better. Your right toes will reach towards the front of the mat and your back foot will be pigeon-toed. Reaching your arms out towards the sides. Shifting the right hand forward, drop into Trikonasana or triangle. And reach your left hand to the sky. Gazing up, roll your heart open, enjoy the view. Pause here, let the shifts happen. Let the reset happen on the cellular level, since we are ultimately a bag of cells with very busy minds. Using our minds to help ourselves, and letting ourselves help us. Drop your left hand into your right hip crease and gaze upward at the trees, in my case, or the sky, or the ceiling, or the fan, or the light. Enjoying it, noticing it, rolling that shoulder open, gazing upwards. Adjust your block if you need to. Bend your right knee and reach your left arm up, coming into a side angle pose. You can have your right hand on the right thigh if you wish, whatever side angle feels better to you. Reach the left arm over the left ear. And if you wish here, try reaching both arms over, noticing how it feels. Bring right arm back to the right thigh. And lower the left hand to the earth, twisting towards the top of the mat. Coming into that high lunge, grab your blocks if you have them. Enjoying that high lunge here with support, or hands can be on your thigh or on your hips, reaching crown of the head to the sky. Pause and enjoy it. Enjoy the release in that left hip. Find your steadiness, and when ready, straight the front knee and bend it. Inviting the movement in the shift. Straight the front knee and bend it. Straight that front knee and bend it. And pause and enjoy here for a moment. Breathing and inviting the shifts. Lots of shifts potentially happening in that left hip. When you are ready, lower your back knee, coming into a low lunge, and adjust your blocks if you have them, or hands on thigh or hips, and invite a different release here. Noticing if you have any resistance. When this feels complete, straight your right leg, coming into a half split. Readjust the blocks and enjoy it for a moment. Wiggle toes, ensuring a lightness to it. Resetting involves a lightness, a non-attachment. We often think it involves fortitude and persistence, but it's often in the letting go that allows the natural reset that stays. In the calm is where we see the clarity. Notice what you need on this side. It might be very different than the other side. Shifting forward into lizard pose, you will walk your right foot to the outside of the mat. Bring the block to the inside or hands to the inside. Roll onto the outer edge of your right foot. Your right knee will roll outward. And if something hurts, don't do it. Be kind to the top of the left knee and enjoy the release in the groin area. Softening into it. Gently coming back to center. Bring your right hand to the outside. You can grab your blocks, lifting up the back knee, hopping into a pyramid pose, a high pyramid pose with a half lift. Back is flat. Enjoy the shifts. Rocking once again, inviting movement today. And even bend knees and straight if that feels good here. Letting your body tell you what would feel good. And you may notice more cravings and desires in your body now than earlier. because it's aware of your listening, aware of your needs. It may not have been at the beginning. Hopping that back foot forward to meet the front. Widen your feet a wee bit, sink your hips back, coming into chair pose, gazing forward, hands come to heart center, sinking your hips back down and low, having a little bounce perhaps, lifting up toes, spreading them wide, lowering them down, sinking down a little bit further. Few more breaths here. Noticing the cells shifting, changing your energy. Perhaps sending to them something about your intention if you have one, or an invitation to shift. Lower hands, reach your sit bones to the sky, release your head and neck, releasing everything. Bringing your feet back, come to hands and knees where we were before. Curling toes under, we're gonna walk our fingers up, coming into the broken toe to release a bit more. Some of you may hate this, in which case you can stay in hands and knees and do some cat-cows. For those of you who enjoy it, bring hands to your thighs, using fingers to untuck each and every toe as you lean back a little bit and let your toes stretch and release, inviting the reset in the smallest, tiniest nooks and crannies of your feet. Our feet are powerful tools. Our toes are powerful. Noticing all of the stretch and energy shifts there, inviting the shifting, resetting all the way down to your feet. If you can, bring a hand to heart here as you enjoy the shifting. Just connecting with your heart, what it has to say now. Lower hands back to your thighs. Come back to hands and knees and bang it out as hard as you can. Enjoy the bang. Even more, because it's fun. And we'll sweep our feet around to the side, coming to sit in a cross-legged position. We're going to come into a double pigeon before we lie down. Right ankle will come atop left knee, or it can be in front. Some of you may want to try cow face pose where your knees are atop each other and you grab your ankles. Notice which one you prefer and take a look if you're not sure what I'm talking about. So knee atop knee, hands on ankles, or right ankle atop left knee. And if this doesn't work for you, you can bring your right ankle in front. And whichever spot you have chosen, pause there. Pause and sit up tall, sending some love and attention and energy into your right hip. Perhaps move a little to invite that shift again, the reset in the hips. We hold lats there. Closing eyes and letting your heart slow even as we sit. You might notice the rock as if you're rocking a baby. Two more breaths here. And wherever you are, begin to untangle legs, stretch them long in between, and have a little knee bang and a little reset of the hips, letting things release before you switch to the other side. Left ankle in front of right knee, and you're going to hug your knees a little bit tighter. Left ankle atop right knee, or knee atop knee, coming into cow face pose. Decide what feels good to you today. It might be different than usual. Choose one without judgment. None is better than the other. Sending kindness and softness to the left hip and all that's held there. Pause and breathe. And invite that reset, that shift. Notice already perhaps what feels different. Looking around you, if you open your eyes, what looks different? I have to say, everything I see now after almost an hour of yoga looks different. The trees look different, the leaves look different. Well, letting yourself notice what looks different just with some breath and calm and attention. Gently begin to untangle on this side. Stretching legs long with kindness, banging them out. Move the flesh of your seat and enjoy a forward fold if that would feel good. Do something that feels good to release. Maybe a butterfly pose. And when you're ready, find a transition to lying down with knees bent to begin. Notice how you feel on the earth. Bring your knees together, feet apart. Raise arms over your head in an easy cactus shape. Drop knees to the right. Left knee reaches the front right corner of the mat. Send some love to the front of the left hip flexor. Inviting a shift here in a different part of the body, different part of the waist and hip than we have attended to before. Noticing your heart slow. Gently bring knees to center. Knees once again, knock kneed, feet on the outer edge of the mat. Drop knees to the left. Right knee reaches towards the front left corner of the mat, and send some love to your hip on this side. Inviting the slow and the reset. A couple of big cleansing breaths as you begin to rest. Bringing knees back to center, hips back to center, sacrum flat on the earth. Gently bring soles of the feet together. Come into Supta Baddha Konasana, a restorative pose, pre-shavasana pose. Hand to heart, hand to belly. Checking in with your reset. Once again, taking a listen to your heart space and perhaps your belly space here. Noticing how you feel now. Noticing what you see or know or sense now. Huge cleansing breath. You can stay here for Shavasana or bring your hands to the outer edges of your thighs. Draw your knees together and stretch your legs long. Toes will reach towards the outer edge of the mat. Palms reach to the sky. Allowing yourself to land in Shavasana here. The integration pose, the resting pose. Shavasana is intended to be a reset, full rest before you begin again. Taking in a big deep breath and a huge exhale release. Letting yourself melt into the earth and be held while you relax, restore, reset, and renew. you would like to stay longer, please do. That's the beauty of yoga on Zoom and YouTube. And honestly, any yoga, you can always stay a little longer. For those of you who are ready to come out, gently begin to deepen your breath. Slowly wiggle fingers and toes. And invite a stretch or movement in any way that feels good to you. Make it up. Let your body choose. Let it be your guide. And when you're ready, make your way to a comfortable seat where we began. And when you get there, bring the hand to heart and check in. Notice how you feel. Notice what might feel different. What has shifted? What feels different? What might you like to bring with you from this moment into the rest of your day, your week, perhaps the rest of the year, or for this new year of life? Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. The light in me honors and reflects the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.